Welcome back to today's explainer. Look, if you follow AI even a little bit, you know the ground is literally shifting under our feet every single day. But right now, we are witnessing a massive, fundamental pivot. We're officially waving goodbye to the era of those incredibly expensive, monolithic AI models trying to do absolutely everything. Instead, we're entering the era of smart, multi-agent deployment. So today, we're going to dive deep into the fierce market competition between AI companies, check out their latest model releases, and figure out exactly how corporate users are strategically adapting to survive the massive cost traps of modern AI. Here's a quick roadmap of where we're headed today. First, we'll look at the big leaderboard shakeup. Second, the fall of token maxing. Third, we'll explore model switching strategies. And finally, the hardware and ecosystem battles. Okay, let's just get right into it. Section 1. The AI leaderboard shakeup. Regional and open source models disrupt the giants. Okay, let's dive into this. For a really long time, the dominant narrative was that a few trillion-dollar US tech giants were just going to completely monopolize high-level AI. But man, look at the stark contrast emerging right now. On one side, sure, we've got those closed ecosystem models. They're locked in a digital vault, they're undeniably powerful, but they demand incredibly high API costs. And on the other side, we have open source challengers stepping up, like China's GLM 5.2. If you've got the hardware, you can just unlock it and run it locally. And get this, it's not just some budget compromise. In serious endurance tests, like running a constant workflow for 20 straight hours, it is actually matching those top-tier proprietary models blow for blow. Pretty wild, right? And this dynamic is already rewriting the real-world market. Believe it or not, ChatGPT's iron grip has actually slipped below that magic 50% mark. They're currently sitting at 45%. Meanwhile, Google's Gemini is climbing fast, hitting nearly 28%, mostly driven by their strategy of just baking AI directly into our mobile devices. But the real wildcard here, it's that others category. Sitting at 17%, it is growing so aggressively as these alternative models start to carve out massive influence. So let's actually zoom in on that other slice for a second, because the numbers here are frankly incredible. You've got Japan's Sakana Fugu, which has an ultra model that is absolutely shattering old benchmarking paradigms. And then there's Xiaomi's Mimo coming out of China. This thing processes roughly 1,200 tokens per second. I mean, that is mind-blisteringly fast. And it runs super efficiently on standard cloud GPUs for literally just $1 per million input tokens. It basically proves you absolutely do not need a $1 trillion valuation to produce highly capable, commercially viable AI anymore. Moving on to Section 2, the fall of token maxing, the exorbitant cost of the AI bubble. Now, as an individual user, paying $200 a month for AI kind of feels like hiring a salaried employee, right? You want to squeeze every single ounce of productivity out of them. That's what we call token maxing. But for enterprises who are paying per API call, those heavy compute cycles mean they are burning through massive piles of cash. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella actually called this out recently. He pointed out that using the highest thinking model for every simple task is just a bad habit that needs to be corrected. Right now, API rates are kind of artificially cheap, subsidized by huge piles of investor cash. But think about it. When that bubble eventually pops and companies have to charge the actual true cost of compute, relying on massive models for basic everyday tasks is going to be straight up financial suicide. So that leaves us with a pretty massive dilemma. If utilizing top-tier models for absolutely everything is way too expensive, but companies still desperately need to automate their massive workflows, we have to ask the obvious question: how exactly do companies fix this token drain? Well, that brings us to Section 3, model switching strategies, the era of multi-agent deployment. Here's the secret. The new meta in AI isn't about building one singular, omnipotent model to do everything anymore. It's about building a dynamic system that delegates. It's like a smart manager. Here's how these multi-agent workflows operate in practice. First, you hand the system a massive, incredibly complex project. But instead of just brute forcing it with a single giant brain, the system steps back and automatically routes all the tedious, simple tasks, stuff like basic data formatting, to an army of incredibly cheap, lightweight models. Then, it strategically reserves the expensive, high-tier models strictly for the heavy lifting, things like complex coding and advanced logic. Tools like Claude Code are already doing this exact kind of routing quietly in the background, literally saving millions of tokens in a matter of minutes. The name of the game here is absolutely cost efficiency. You keep your top-tier proprietary models for that heavy logic to ensure maximum accuracy. But for high-volume, simple tasks, you route those straight to something like DeepSeek for high speed and rock-bottom costs. And this strategy is so undeniably effective that Microsoft, a massive US tech titan, is reportedly planning to integrate Chinese models like DeepSeek into their own systems. Why? Specifically to aggressively slash their internal API expenses. That tells you everything you need to know. And hey, if you want real proof of how much friction these crazy compute costs are causing right now, just look at the recent lawsuit against Anthropic. So a power user actually sued them over their premium $200 plan. The user alleged that when they were running multi-agent automated workflows, the strict compute limits were throttling their weekly usage unfairly. It just perfectly captures the growing tension in the market right now. We as users want AI to do massive amounts of work autonomously for us, but the AI companies, they're throttling us just to survive the crushing, real-world costs of running their own data centers. Which leads us to our final stop today, Section 4, Hardware and Ecosystem Battles, Beyond the API. Because core AI software models are basically becoming commoditized, with open source catching up to proprietary so fast, the real competitive moat is shifting. It's moving to the layers built on top of the API. Just look at the wild diversity of these ecosystem plays we're seeing. OpenAI introduced a record and replay feature where the AI literally watches your screen, learns a task once, and then just automates it forever. Meanwhile, Google is getting incredibly creative. They're reportedly exploring ways to string together discarded smartphone processors to build wildly cheap AI server hubs. And if we look even farther down the road, Samsung is already manufacturing next-generation brain chips, totally preparing for a future where personal computing is literally, physically integrated into us. So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a genuinely fascinating question to chew on. As regional and open source models inevitably drive the base cost of intelligence down to near zero, and as we completely master the art of model switching, will the software itself eventually matter less than the hardware, the data centers, and the user interfaces it actually lives within? Honestly, it is the multi-billion-dollar question that every major tech CEO is trying to answer right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive today. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.